Quick disclaimer. Trading carries a high level of risk, so anything done is your responsibility. The content on this channel is for educational purposes only and are my perspective and personal opinions. Alright, my bro. So what we're going to be doing is going to EuroCAD to see exactly like what the London session would have looked like. So this would have been the London session here, right? Starting from roughly 2 o'clock in the morning. And you are trading on the 10-minute time frame, so let's just see what this would have looked like. Cool. So based on the system of how we trade, I would have been looking at this and trading roughly from the 10-minute to the 1 minute. So I see that we created this low right here, same chart as you, I believe. Let me see. Let me go back to the video. So let's see what that looks like. 10-minute. I think that was a 10-minute. Is this a 10-minute based on this? I don't really see, but I know when you go over this side it shows that this is the 10-minute. I don't know if you're using multiple time frames, guys. So you have different things open over here, you see. But EuroCAD, that's the daily chart right there. Cool. It's the 10-minute because you have this over here selected. Okay, cool. So it is the 10-minute. And that was the price at 150, 151. Cool. So let's go and check it now. 150, 151. So 150, 151. So that was down in here. Cool. So this is the right time, and this is the London session, as I have the indicator indicating that this is the London session, right? Because I have mine set from 2 in the morning till about 6. Yeah, till about 6. That's when I saying I want to trade London session, right? I just have it here checked off, and you can have it. And then you have the New York session, which would have been now, and then the money injection section, which is from 7 o'clock in the night till about 10 o'clock. So based on this, let's just look at what London would have provided us based on my system here, right? Cool. So I'm just waiting on that. Okay, so now London would have shown up right here, and this would have been the same sell opportunity. So yes, you got the direction right, you got all these things, but let's see how we would have changed that ratio of like what you got there. So you got into this trade roughly when that spiked up and came back down, I think, or that's just a zone. I need to see it again. That's a stop loss right there, or where is the trade? -1 up here, and then you got in. Oh, so you got in right here roughly, and then that's your stop loss, which would be -10 pips. Okay. Let me see what else, if it makes any more sense that I'm not seeing. Okay, cool. So you're going for like a 1-to-1. You're going for a 1-to-1. Literally, you're going for a 1-to-1. Okay, cool. Even just based on the shallowest level of what this is, yes, that would have been my opportunity right there. My stop loss would have been above there. I would have gotten a 1-to-1.12 in just that aspect, right? Because based on what we saw London do, that probably came back and stopped you out there. Or where was the trade that you got? Where was it? Is it here? You said London this morning, so oh yeah, cool. So that's the spike up. This must be it that you were seeing right here. Let me see if that makes sense right there. That's that spike up after that spike down, and then yeah, perfect, cool. So this is it. Yeah, cool. So this is it, and this is where you were looking at, right? Let me see. Yeah, so this is where you had drawn out. That's like a double top, whatever you want to call that, right there. Yeah, and then price goes up all the way, comes back down and peaks down here. Yeah, cool. So roughly this is what that would have done on that 10-minute chart, but based on the system that I trade now. So see, this is exactly where you saw the bearish plot would have popped up, and it would have confirmed for you literally right here. You'd have gotten an alert that said, let's just put it as the 5-minute open or whatever it is, but that's where you would have gotten the okay to start looking for shorts. This is where you would have gotten the okay to start looking for shorts after this triangle popped up, right? So now we would have gone down to like say the 1 minute, and in the 1 minute now we would have been looking for trades in here. So let's just see what we would have gotten based on this. This is where I would have started to look for trades, blah blah blah. We didn't confirm, but we closed up here, so maybe I wouldn't have taken that one, and I would have waited till it passed through. But even if I did take that one after this popped up, because all I'm doing is trading the lows after the triangles pop up, simple as that. This would have already doubled what you are already risking right there, so that's a 1 to 2.38. And let's say I didn't take that one because I just didn't like it, and this triangle right here popped up, meaning I would have gotten into this trade right here. So as soon as I saw this one actually open right down in here, I would have gotten into that stop loss right above the high and taking this lower until it crosses up and closes. So this one would have walked away with probably 1 to 2.31, but the max potential of this would have went up to 1 to 4.62, you know. So, and obviously going break even at 1 to 2, so this would have been a very valid trade for me to be in on, you know. And that right there is already exponentially a better trade than the other one, you know what I mean? Not suggesting that your trade is a bad trade, but based on the system that we trade, it literally would have provided you way better risk to reward. It would have provided you that one trade that you would have gotten roughly around a 1 to, or close enough to a 1 to 5. But say you did come out at the 1 to 2 right there, you got in. I mean, you got that and you just left that for the rest of the day. You just didn't care about it, you know, because you know that's just what you would be trading as, in that's how the system is. And that's almost like your only opportunity for London. Of course, you have the 1 minute trades in here, but you wouldn't have been looking for them right now, to be honest. You wouldn't have been looking for that because you would have been down in here still just managing from your 10-minute trade, you know. So let's just do it like this. Let me see. Let me put back on the position. Let me see if I can put back on the position. Can I just, yeah, cool. So you'd have been managing from the 10-minute. So that would have been the position already there. And you'd have been managing from the 10-minute. So you saw it come down 1 to 2, you're gonna break even. More than likely, you probably even just still held it after you reach, because you can make up your own rules, right? So you can say, whenever it reaches 1 to 3, I take off 50% of my partial. So you took off 1.5 and you left the 1.5 to run, because you based on your analysis, you might say, okay, I want to see price actually moving. But let's just be realistic here. That's just on the 10-minute chart, right? This is what I want to show you. If you literally understand a system that is doing something that is very favorable for you, I would only assume that you'd want to follow it to the max potential, right? So based on what we're seeing on the 2-hour chart on EuroCAD, this movement right here even just signifies it's screaming bullish, right? We're just bullish. Even on the daily, I can tell, even though it's choppy. And since you're trading like a lower time frame, let's just stick to like 2-hour and going down, but it's still saying that it's bullish. You see on the 2-hour chart, we just bullish. I wouldn't even try to trade in here anywhere at all in here. I'm waiting until I see a bullish plot like this, similar as you can see. Every time you see the bullish plot, these are opportunities for you to take the trade higher. So like even for this one right here, sure, this one doesn't work out. Not all of them are going to work out. That's obvious. Like trading wise, that's the reason why you have risk management. But even this, if you just traded them right through, right, and you were trading just through the highs of wherever the triangles pop up, you realize you easily getting 1 to 2s in here to go break even and then continue. And then this one right here, you get in on that one once it broke that high. Your stop loss is below that low, as you see me do in all of my videos. And so far right now, you'd have been up to 1 to 7 easily. But that's not how I trade. So now seeing this, I already know that I would not want to be a participant of this market at all during London session. And if I was going to be a part of it during London session, it would be through the highs. It wouldn't be to sell this market at all. Because on the higher time frame, you say you use the daily bias. Oh, great, right? You say you use the daily bias. This is a terrible market to trade in. Look at this right now. This whole thing is just consolidating. This whole thing is just consolidating. You have no idea where the market is going. and you say you trade in the daily bias, not a problem, you understand? But let's just say when the market, well, euro card, my god, this whole thing is atrocious. This is terrible. I would never be trading this. Yeah, I would never. Jesus Christ. Yo. All right, see, like even like say euro JPY or something like that. I think euro JPY actually still like, you know, choppy in a sense. But at least you can see, even by the bare minimum, you can see movement, like movements up or movements down. Eurocard is absolute madness. You have to be a mad scientist to trade this, because you literally don't know where the market going. 1 minute the market bullish, 1 minute the market bearish, 1 minute the market bullish, 1 minute the market bearish, and you trade on a low time frame. Although, if you trade on a low time frame, let me make sure I said this recording. If you're trading on a low time frame, you might get good moves, like in between moves, just to go up and down and up and down and up and down. But the point is, you don't know when it's gonna go up or down. You can only follow like the mini trends within it, and that's dangerous because it can just switch at any moment, as you see on the higher time frames. Like, okay, after you see the break of this, and you see the break of that, and you see the break of this, which is that right there, you can say, all right, I'm bullish. So now you start to look for liquidity target tops, as you guys see me doing my videos all the time, right? Liquidity target top. So once that traded through, you could have traded that. Right now you'd be in profit. And all of these other blue triangles that traded through, you could have been a part of this, right? Perfect. And on the 1 minute, what do you think this looks like? Looks like heaven. So sure, you can trade it if you're looking on it in that perspective, but based on a higher time frame, this is all crazy, bro. This is madness. I would never trade this. And again, even if I was to trade it, I would only trade through the highs. Like, so right now during London session, this would have been the only trade that I would have taken for it to go up, and I don't even think it makes it. You know what I mean? Let me come out of replay mode now. That would have been the only trade. You see? Well, even though that's the only trade that I would have taken, look at where that would have taken us. On the same 10-minute chart that you had, that would take me to a 1 to 5, you know? So I glad that you actually saw that, the end piece right there. So that one would have taken us to 1 to 5, and then, you know, came and stopped us all that break even, or after partials and all this extra stuff. But this is a very weird market to trade EuroCAD. And hopefully now you get to kind of see the understanding of what I'm talking about with the indicator and how we even trading it. Because see, from this popped up right here, and price came down, created that swing high, created that swing low, and traded through, which is the first candle to trade through this high, which is this. So that's the high right there. Once the candle traded through that, that's where I was entering. That's where you saw me enter right here, and that's where you see my stop loss below here. All right. And that's the trade that I would have taken during London session. That would have been a very legal trade. You see my section right here. Let me just make it different. London session. Let's just put it to the aqua color. No, that two thing that's this. See. Let's just put it to a black color. Boom. You see? That's definitely a trade that you can take. And if you did take this one, you would have probably ended up break even at that 1 to 1. You got the 1 to 1, and that's it. But this one here, you got in and you'd have got 1 to 5. So, you know, the fair value gap thing, I don't know. Like I said, I traded them before. I traded supply and demand. I mean, not supply and demand. This is supply and demand. We traded support and resistance, fair value gaps. We traded RSI, MACD, moving average, crossovers. I've done almost every single thing, my boy. Trust me. So when I'm showing you like the system that I trading right now, it's not to make you feel aware or nothing like that at all, because we all have to get here someday. But what I'm trying to do is help you cut your learning curve so that you can reach here today. That's it. So look into my videos, look into the stuff that I'm showing you, look into the stuff that I'm teaching you, and then hopefully you'll be able to grasp onto the lessons in a deeper perspective, so that you can be a part of moves like this that get you to that 1 to 5. Like on that same 10-minute chart, This would have taken you 3 hours to get to that 1 to 5. If you were risking $100, that'd be 500. If you were risking 1,000, that would have been $5,000 that you'd have made right there. That's on max potential, obviously. You probably would have managed this down to like a 1 to 3 or something like that in here when it started to come back down based on like the 1 minute. And based on the 1 minute, what do you think this would look like? You know what I mean? What do you think this would look like? Like, picture this. Look, so you say during London session, you'd have gotten into probably some of the buys. I don't know. Like this one didn't present an opportunity. This one didn't present an opportunity because it didn't trade through the highs. This was the only one that presented an opportunity. And guess what? You'd have gotten into this one. But reality speaking, the 10-minute one only created a high right here. So you wouldn't even be taking this one, to be honest. The high was created right here, as in the marker. Let me show you back on the 10-minute. Show you back on the 10-minute again. This is where the triangle popped up. So what I'm gonna do is just actually highlight it like this so you can understand. I don't need it no more. I don't need the entire indicator. Like I don't need the indicator, but the reason why I made the indicator is so that traders that want to trade like this, that can make money, you can get the indicator to trade with it. That's the reason why I made the indicator. You understand? Yeah. Well, I know decided to take it to the next level and make the indicator, and all I did was take the code from there and then literally spruced it up into what I definitely would want to see. So look at this. You'd have gotten into this one right here. This is the one that you would have gotten into. So that 10-minute overall trade would have been that, and then this is the one that you'd have gotten into because this one didn't present an opportunity. And actually, since that happened, you wouldn't have been in that one. On the 1 minute, this is the one that you'd have been in on. And your stop loss would be right under there, and this would have been your trade right here, which still presented a whole 1 to 4 before coming back down here. Let me not confuse it. Let me show you. Bam. That would have been your thing, and that would have been your trade before coming out of London. And more than likely this hits a 1 to 2, so yep, this would have been like a break-even trade, you know, based on like whatever rules you want. You can say to yourself, hey, I'm getting in on the 10-minute, getting in on the 1 minute and manage on the 10-minute, you know, many different ways to skin the cat. But this could have been your trade right here, hitting a 1 to 4, and then, you know, by the time it come back down, you say, all right, if it hit a 1 to 4, I take my profit at 1 to 3. If it comes back down, boom, you take your 1 to 3 and you go, you know. Even in between that, look at the different opportunities for buys that presented itself in here. Look at this one. This one right here would have taken you probably break even again, you know. This one right here would have taken you from, remember that same 1 to 10, 1 to 5 at the max potential. The max potential of this one, although it hits 1 to 2 right here, so break even. But again, if you're just managing it and pushing up, the max potential of this before coming down to actually hit below here to stop you out, or even hit right here to actually go break even, was a 1 to 12. Like, this is not some random stuff, although this is outside of your London session. This is in between that time. This is 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning is not crazy to trade because that's still the cross between London and New York. I just don't trade in between this time because I just don't want to, you know, because I sleep in around them time. So 1 to 12. So you can understand the things of this system here is really beneficial if you do take the time out. Just take the time out to go and learn it, bro. That's it. Take the time to go and learn it, because I guarantee you I'm teaching you something that will be very beneficial to you in the future. And yeah, that's on the 5 minutes. So even trading on the 5 minute, this is where you'd have been in on. You'd have been in on this from down here, which is something I'm teaching the students right now. That if you want to trade every day, you can find your session that you want to trade and just trade from the 5 minute chart alone, which would have presented this opportunity and then this opportunity, and you trade all the plots that form. So guess what? You'd have traded this one and got stopped out at break even because you trade into a 1 to 1. So you'd have gotten stopped out at break even right there. And then this plot came in right here, and once it crossed that high right there, you'd have been in on this. Let me show you. You'd have been in right there, your stop loss right there, and you'd have been managing all up to now, and then when it stops you out right here, so you'd have been managing managing. Price goes up all the way to 1 to 6, comes back down. Oh, well, even right here is when that crossed and stopped right there. But maybe that's so small you don't even bother decide to take a partial. So you wait until the next close, and you see the next close right here. That's what you're looking at, you know, at a 1 to 2 easily. And that 1 to 2 is still even greater than the 1 to 1 that you were going for. You understand? And let's say you decided to just hold off on that. Again, the max potential of this so far went up to a 1 to 6. So you do the math and you see what makes sense. And if it don't make sense to you, then it just don't make sense to you, you know. But this make way more sense than a fair value gap, way more sense than support and resistance. Like support and resistance, you can, you know, you people would be like, oh, I can see where this comes up and then it stopped and then it did all this. Look at what happened when people said the same thing when it came back up here again. God, you know what I mean? Anyways, big up yourself. I'm glad that you're finding profitability if you are, and either way, find a way to understand the system and how we're teaching it so that you can be a part of this in these types of moves on a day-to-day basis. See, New York session started, you never got an opportunity there, but you got your opportunity here. This would have been your trade and you'd actively be in this right now. Right now, you'd be actively in this looking to take this thing short. That's it. All right, based on the system that I'm teaching and that I'm showing. If you want to trade every single day. Otherwise, if you don't want to trade every single day and you want a more higher profitable trading system, you'd be doing stuff like what I am doing, which I'm gonna show you real quick right now. My first trade on Eurocard right now would have been when this bullish plot came down into here and then validated right here, which is on this candle. That's when it validated. I would have been looking to go long from there. So 2 hour open and 2 hour open. And I'd have been looking in here now for a 5-minute trade. So I'd have been looking in here somewhere for a 5-minute trade. Let me see what time this would have been also. This would have been 11 o'clock in the night. This is during, no, I wouldn't have been in there at that moment. I'd have been looking at or waiting for London to start, which would have been 2 o'clock in the morning, which is right here. So 2 o'clock in the morning started right here. Guess what? Closed there, no trade. Open here, we got one trade and we took this one, right? Say we took this one, that one would have been, come on. Say we took this one, that one would have been a loss. I'm being fully transparent with you guys can understand that. Fully been a loss. Then this one came down, nothing, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, boom, bam, 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 bam. All of a sudden, because remember 6 o'clock is when we stopped the trading session. Guess what? I got a bullish plot right here. I would have been in this one right here. Once it passed through that high, my stop loss right there. I'm showing you exactly how I would have done it. Break even at 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 hit right here. This is exactly how I trade, bro. And this is what I look for, 1 to 2 BE. So since that hit right there, I go to BE right here. Since right here, I go to BE like roughly right here. So that's where my trade would go break even. And I'd be chilling right there now and just managing my trade. From where? The higher time frame, which is my 2 hour. So right now I would be in that trade and just waiting right now for the price to close below. And price closes below right here. So I would have taken my partial right there at a 1 to 8, you know, and the max potential that it ran so far would have been a 1 to 15. Like, this is not a joke. I just showing you exactly like how the system work, you know what I mean? And right now, after taking the partial from right here when it came down and closed at a 1 to 8, closed below the MAs at a 1 to 8, I take like say 50% partial. That's 1 to 4. Like this here took 1 day and 22 hours, sure, but 1 day and 22 hours. You tell me if you making $400 a day. You're not. So, and I'm not talking to you personally, I'm talking about like everybody in general that watching this video right now. You're not making $400 a day, but yet you're gonna say, oh, that trade took too long to make. What are you talking about? You just got into a trade right here, pressed a button, and in 1 day, pretty much 2 days, 1 day and 22 hours, in 2 days, you literally just made $400 and something from you literally just looking at the market. Come on. You're kidding yourself and you're lying to yourself. You're acting as if, come on, you need to be a little bit more realistic. You're not making that in 2 days. You're not. So you know, stuff like this is where you can see and say, you know what, that's a very profitable system. Let me adopt that. You know, let me actually learn it. And then guess what? That's just on the 5 minute. Realistically speaking, I trade on the 10-second. So from the 5 minute presented this opportunity down in here, I'm on the 5-second looking for a trade. This did turn into a lengthy video, but I'm just showing you like what it is actually. So from I saw this come up right here, this is the 5 minute trade that we just took that went up to a 1 to whatever it was just now. From I saw this bullish plot, I would have been in here confirmed. So bam, this is where it confirmed. And that would have been my 5 minute open. And then I have my 5 minute open right here. So now this is where I'm starting to look for a 5-second trade. I mean 10-second trade. So let me show you what that would look like. Okay, if this would load. Where did it go? Oh, hold on. Let me just jump back here so I can actually just stop, or sorry, not stop, but replay it, so we can know what we're looking for right down in here. All right. So now we jump down to the 10-second. Yes, cool. And let me show you what I would have been looking for in here. So this is the 5 minute trade. This is what that 5 minute trade looks like. Big, right? So now this is where that first one would have popped up. Let me show you now how we would be looking at this. What time would that have been? 4:30 in the morning. Great, cool. So this would have been my first trade, which would have turned out into a loss. Great. This would have been my second trade, which would have turned out into a loss. Perfect. Like roughly right there. That would have been that. Perfect. That's a loss. This one doesn't present an opportunity. Not necessarily, because that's equal highs. This one doesn't present an opportunity. Closes. This one presents one. That would have been my third loss. So this would have been my third loss. Excellent. And then this one here presents an opportunity. Now look at how crazy this is. This one right here, your stop is right below there. This one ran, first of all, 1 to 3, 1 to 2, so you get break even right there. And that happens within, shit, I can't do the markings because of the thing, but anyways, let me just shift this back a bit so you can actually see. That's the 5 minute trade. This one goes break even literally 40 seconds, so 1 to 2 in 40 seconds, and then the max potential of this thing goes up to a 1 to 10 flat, 1 to 10 flat, you know. And that there goes in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes you get a 1 to 10. You can't make this up, you understand? And that's what I'll be looking for based on the same system that I showed you. All of these different trades in here, sure, you could have taken, but after you get money like this, you're not even looking to be in the markets no more. Look at all these different trades inside of here. And remember, you up on the 5 minute now trying to manage the trade. Excuse me, you up on the 5 minute trying to manage the trade. The trade goes up to this and comes back down and then stops you out. Now, since it stopped you out, you're waiting on another bullish plot. You don't get another bullish plot. So now there's nothing for you to do, but you already went to 1 to 10. Otherwise, you took the whole 5 minute area like this. You took the 5 minute trade like that. And then that went, as you obviously know, way up here. And way up here. You know? So, yeah, bro. It's not really a crazy thing to see this type of thing for us anymore that understand the system and that are learning the system. It's not crazy to see a 1 to 15, a 1 to 20, a 1 to 8. These are not crazy numbers to see at all. But yeah, hopefully you learned something from this, and hopefully all you other guys learn something from this as well. Nothing is wrong with fair value gaps. Nothing is wrong with support and resistance. As long as you understand the system, you understand your risk management, you understand what you're doing. But market mechanics is the literal best way to trade, and that's the only way that you should be looking at markets. Trading through the highs or trading through the lows, if depending on your bias. Simple as that. And using confluences of higher time frames, not confluences of systems that derive from market mechanics, because all those different things are just derivatives of market mechanics. This is very simple, you know. So support and resistance, RSI, all these different things, they're just trying to point to where market mechanics is, or the understanding of how mechanics in the markets work. Simple as that. This is your high. That got broken. Cool. Now this is your low. Now it creates a new swing low. So if it breaks this high, then you're in for another trade. Very simple. It's the mechanics of the market. It's the introduction of a bullish trend. And this is how you identify where the trend begins and how you can be a part of the trend that begins. So this is the swing high, this is the swing low, which means you could get it on that right there. And your stop loss is below the swing low. And now you'd literally be in this trade at a 1 to 1.79 already, you know? And this is live price, you're seeing it. And this is if this is on the 2 hour, you know? Simple. And this is you knowing that you have a bullish bias going ahead of you. Like, you know, it's very simple, man. See it here? Another low that got created. Bam. Low, created a swing high, swing low. So now once this swing high was created and popped above that, and then this one popped above that, you took one loss. And then once this crossed this again, you got into this one. That crossed right there. And this is me just showing you without the indicator. All right, this is me showing you without the indicator that you still would have taken a 1 to 3 right there. Or with the indicator, you saw that bullish plot and you would have taken this one right here. So that 1 to 3 now becomes 1 to 7. Come on, guys. Anyways, peace.